What's up, guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Just want to talk to you guys about having patience. A lot of people now, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you're just starting, you got to really exercise patience because you're at the beginning of your journey and you don't even know what's in that journey, what's going to unfold. And you really have to exercise your patience to make sure that whatever you're going through or what you're trying to achieve gets accomplished, no matter how long it's going to take. Sometimes you'll meet people today that 2 years from now they're going to be the reason why you made 7 figures or 6 figures, or you closed on a big deal, or you got financing for a property. Yeah, man, you really got to exercise patience when you're an entrepreneur, and stay consistent. You got to stay consistent with what you're doing, couple that with patience, and you'll definitely achieve what you want to achieve in whatever field you're in. I just finished a meeting with one of my mentors I met a couple years ago, and I never really asked anything from him. Just here and there when I'm short, I say, hey man, can I borrow some money? He said, yeah, sure. I never really tried to do any business deals with him or anything in the last 2 years, because he knows he's my pharmacist on one of my buildings, and he knows that I had to renovate, do all these things, bring the property back into good standing, compliance with the city, all that, the fire department. So the last 2 years, I never really asked him to do any type of deals. Now today, after I actually picked up some medication from him for some of the residents, because they needed some medication, and we were chopping it up, and he's like, hey, I was kind of just telling him someone who I met and how they were helping me out, and he was basically like, when that person's done, with what he's doing over there, let him come over here and maybe we can get the same services. And in that, even though that person's providing services, I'm the middle guy, right? So I can now charge a finder's fee. I'm bringing value to both sides, so now I can charge a finder's fee, and if everything checks out, it'll be a nice little check for me, right? And sometimes as entrepreneurs, we always want to capitalize in the biggest way at everything, and sometimes that's not, money is not always what you need to capitalize on. Every time you have contact with someone, you got to understand that building that relationship is actually more important than $100,000. Because building that relationship may get you 10 properties in the next 20 years, but $100,000 can get you a ship box. You know what I mean? You're not going to get no real property putting down $100,000, especially in this market in Ontario, on multi-families. You might get a single family, a duplex or triplex, but you're not going to be bringing in any serious cash flow, right? So yeah, always be mindful, man. And when you're building those relationships, you got to be patient. Because a lot of the times when you're an entrepreneur, you're meeting a lot of individuals. If you're really out there, you're meeting a lot of individuals who have a lot of money because they paid their dues, and now they're reaping the rewards of paying their dues. And I know it's very hard sometimes when you're in the trenches and you're trying to do the best you can, and you don't have any resources, and that $100,000 sounds nice, but you can't always take the money. Sometimes the money's not what that relationship was meant to be for, right? And I know it's very hard when you don't have money. You're trying to figure out how to pay A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way through Z, how to pay all those bills. And but don't come off as a money hungry person and then ruin a relationship where 4 years later you're buying a 20 unit with them, or you're buying a 50 unit, you're buying, so just you got to stay patient and just be resourceful on your own, because all these people who you're coming in contact with that are in the same industry as you, what the struggles you're going through, it ain't nothing to them, because they went through them and they're going through even bigger struggles now that they have more money. You know, when you don't have money, like, when you don't have money, it's like the best situation because you don't have money problems, right? You got lack of money problems. When you have money, that's when you really have money problems, you know? So just be thankful of the situation you're in, and that that, like, you got to realize that you're what situation you're in for you to grow in that situation, and, you know, just be, you know, enjoy every part of the journey to becoming successful, right? So yeah, man, just stay patient and consistent. And I know you're gonna come in contact with a lot of people. You know, I come in contact with a lot of people who have millions and millions of real dollars worth of real estate. You know, me, I'm like a small guy compared to everybody. Compared to literally everybody, I'm a small fish. Compared to my friends, I'm out here like kicking ass, man. But to everyone else, you know, I'm like, oh, that's all you got, you know. So I come in contact with a lot of people who have a lot of wealth, and sometimes, you know, I'm like, shit, man, I need to pay this and this, or, you know, we can do this, but, you know, I gotta understand that it's longevity that I'm after, and it's not for just a little $100,000, $50,000, $200,000, you know. Um, you know, money goes by quick, man. You know, $100,000 is like you spend that within a year. You know, doing a business, man. $100,000 when you're starting up a business, when you're in the trenches, is like it's like you could burn that in 2 days. You know what I mean? You get a fine from the fire department or something, or this or that, or you're getting sued. You burn that in a day or two, man. Depending on what month it is. So you gotta stay patient, but I'm gonna tell you how you can stay patient. What a lot of people, especially young individuals, overlook when we're you know, striving to achieve success and wealth in our business is our personal self. You know, I always tell everyone, especially that's closer to my age, is that you gotta stay active, whether you're working out or if you are playing a sport. You have to stay active, because the thing is, every day is not going to be a good day in your business. So you want to make sure that you feel like you're progressing somewhere in your life. You're progressing in the gym, you're progressing in the book you're reading, you're progressing in your relationship, something. There always has to be a progression every day of some sort. It doesn't always have to be your business. Is, you know, 1 month I have 16 residents, because how one of my homes work is I don't sign tenant agreements because it's mental issues. So they come in, they might stay for a year, they might stay for a day. So 1 month I have 16 residents, the next month I have 12, and, you know, I got to figure out how to pay my bills now. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I did that day, whether I had 16 or 12 residents, I went to the gym. You know what I mean? I listened to Gary Vee. I listened to Grant Cardone. Whoever the hell you listen to, man, you listen to them. You listen to the podcast, Bigger Pockets, A, B, C, and D. And then, you know, the feeling of losing 4 residents is a moment, but what you do that day, whether you go to the gym, is lasting, because it's compound. It's like compounding interest on your body, compounding knowledge on your brain, right? So always do something when you're feeling stressed that will positively affect you, because that is one key thing that separates successful individuals who lead the lives they love versus unsuccessful individual who lead a life of chaos. Is that whenever you're facing difficult times, find positive outlets to pour your anger and energy and frustration into. So when you come out of those emotions, you'll be better off than you were going into them. All right. So shit, man, that was a good one, man. I'm gonna write that down. But yeah, man, make sure you do these, because it will help you stay patient on your journey of becoming an entrepreneur. You know, yeah. So keep on buying properties, doing your real estate stuff. You know, and yeah, man. I hope that you get everything that your heart desires. That's what my aunt would say. All right, take it easy.